Stand by.
It didn't look too bad, so I kind of tried to go for it.
Emergency officials asking Dane County residents to stay home tonight. The rain still falling. Parts of our area have already marked 9 inches on the ground. We have live team coverage as we work to keep you updated on the rising water.
This is News 3 at 10.
Well, thanks for joining us. This is a live look outside as the rain now falling much more lightly on our weather patio than it was a short time ago. The rain making driving very dangerous all over southern Wisconsin. Communities like Madison and Cross Plains seeing flooded roads and yards right now. And the Dane County Sheriff's Office asking people simply to stay home. City of Madison doing the same. Stay home, off the roads if at all possible. A flash flood warning in effect for our area until 11:15 tonight. Some roads in Madison are not passable right now. Here's a list of some of the roads that Madison city officials say are basically impassable. Officials again warning drivers to turn around, don't drown. Live team coverage tonight of the storm. We start with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti, who's in tonight tracking the rain in our weather center. Gary, all anybody wants to know is when is it going to end?
Well, the good news is eventually it will start to wind down, probably over the next few hours. However, the problem is that we've received so much rain that a lot of it is just standing around and still has to make its way into the sewers and drains, and it's going to be a long time before that water level starts to recede. Now, here's what we have. Flash flood warning in effect until 11:15 p.m. for central and western Dane County. That includes the city of Madison, includes areas to the west, including Verona, Middleton, Cross Plains, Black Earth, Mount Horeb, down to Belleville. Flash flood watches remain in effect for much of south central and southeastern Wisconsin into tomorrow morning. Now, here's the problem. Last 12 hours. You can clearly see the bullseye right in the middle of your screen, that red shaded area over the western part of Dane County. I'm going to zoom in on that. These are just rainfall estimates, and sometimes the Doppler radar will underestimate the actual amounts of rain that has fallen. But you can clearly see that from basically Highway 18-151 northward to Highway 12 in the western portion of Dane County. And again, that includes Black Earth, Mazomanie, Middleton, down into Verona. That area has seen anywhere from 6 to 9 or more inches of rain. Heavier rains of 2 to 5 inches have fallen into the Fitchburg and the west side of Madison, whereas areas in eastern Dane County more in the 1 to 1.5 inch range. But the rain continues to fall very heavily over the northwestern portion of Dane County. Here's high-resolution Doppler radar. You can see the heaviest rain now shifting just north of Highway 18-150, actually north of Highway 14, so up toward Springfield Corners and toward Sauk City and Prairie du Sac. That's the area that's seeing the heaviest rain right now. The rain south of 18-151 into Verona, Fitchburg, Paoli, that's starting to wind down a little bit. But on Doppler track, you can see how this rain has just kind of stayed over the same general area over the last 2 to 3 hours, and now it's starting to lighten up a little bit. The heaviest rainfall, not quite as heavy as it was before, but it is shifting into the northern and northeastern portions of Dane County. A wider radar perspective also shows a band of heavier thunderstorms that produced some wind damage reports through Rock County, now lifting northeastward toward I-94 into Jefferson and the eastern portion of Dane County. That's the area over the next few hours that will probably see the heaviest rainfall. And as we look at future Doppler track over the next 3 hours, look for the heaviest rain to start shifting along the I-94 corridor between Madison and Milwaukee, or even a little bit north of there into Columbia and Dodge counties. The rain, as it lifts northward, hopefully won't be as heavy, but that area should still be prepared for flash flooding. But again, western Dane County, you don't be out on the roads tonight because there are many roads that are impassable. I'll have more details and weather in a few minutes.
All right. Gary, thank you very much. More than 9 inches of rain has fallen so far around the Cross Plains area. Keely Arthur is there with the flooding conditions in that area. Again, western Dane County. Keely?
That's right, Eric. We were headed to Cross Plains hearing those reports of 9 inches of rain in that area. But on our way there, we got stuck on Highway 14 as parts of that highway were entirely flooded. We found safety up here on Rocky Dell Road, much higher ground, a route many other drivers have taken. Those drivers, though, along with us, stuck here for 3 hours now. We spoke to one of them. Here's how she is feeling tonight.
I actually drove through some pretty deep water. I have a four-wheel drive pickup. I was barely able to make it through. And I've been shaking, just shaking, because this is really nerve-wracking.
Shaken but safe. And I want everyone to get a look at what is going on below us. The Dane County Sheriff's Department blocking access further west on Highway 14 towards Stagecoach Road. That's where we had to turn around. Now, we did see sedans trying to get through the water with water pooling up to their windshields. I did not witness anyone get stuck, but we did see several emergency vehicles headed that way. There's also a huge pool of water that looks like a pond butting up to Highway 14. It has not flooded the highway yet, but that is steadily rising. It's been rising for hours now. We have also seen several lightning strikes happening as frequently as 1 to 2 minutes apart. And again, very chaotic out here. The Dane County Sheriff's Department and City of Madison telling everyone, if you can, stay home tonight. Do not get on the roads. Any drivers out here, please stay where you are. It is not worth trying to explore alternative routes as most of our area is flooded. Back to you, Eric.
All right, Keely Arthur live along Rockydale Road, Western Dane County. Keely, thank you. Amy Reed monitoring conditions right now for us in the city of Madison. She joins us in the safety of our newsroom. Amy?
Yeah, we're hearing right now from the fire and police departments. They're going out to multiple water rescues tonight, and they're telling us as of now they've all been successful. This is what it looked like earlier near Gammon and Mineral Point intersection. It's only kept raining, though. Jay Ranshot is one of several drivers who got stuck in this area tonight. He says the water didn't seem too deep at first, but then minutes later, it began creeping inside his car.
You could feel it on your tires, but it wasn't super bad. And then all of a sudden, it just starts washing up over my hood, and I thought, okay, I gotta get out of this. And then the engine stalled.
Now, Jay was able to get out of his car safely, and he even helped check on other drivers. He says the water on the road was roughly 2.5 feet deep and reached his thighs. This video drive by the West Side Menards flooded. Dane County dispatchers tell us someone was rescued from a stranded vehicle there. Our photographer on scene said the water there was about knee deep at the time. The fire department said, if you don't have to go out tonight, don't. These roads are dangerous, not just for you, but for the first responders that would have to save you if something were to happen.
Just getting word that Nesbitt Road at Fitchrone also closed possibly through the morning, a very busy area for the morning commute. Amy, thank you. And more flooding in the Madison area tonight. Here's some of the images taken. This is in the area of Elver Park. As you can see, the water nearly reached the seats on the park benches there. This is looking right at Warner Park there along McKenna Boulevard. Madison Gas and Electric also saying they are experiencing power outages all across the area due to the storm. The outages, many of them occurring in Cross Plains. There were some trees down in that area as well in the American Legion Park there in Cross Plains. Middleton, Madison areas affecting around 3,800 customers. And Alliant Energy also has about 600 without power. Officials say if your power is out, you're asked to call 608-252-7111 with MG&E to report any outages. According to the outage map, the power is expected to be restored sometime before midnight tonight, but please be patient. One area of school is closing because of the rain. We know that the Kinder Early Learning Center in Mount Horeb will not be open tomorrow. If any more schools or programs cancel throughout the evening, you can find a list of them at the top of channel3000.com. We're also seeing flooding all around the Madison area. Here are some photos submitted from our viewers showing the beginning of the flooding in Fitchburg and Madison areas. The photos were taken near Madison, near Memorial High School on the west side, and also off Highway PD in Fitchburg near Maple Grove. Well, you can stay safe and informed with News 3 tonight as we see this heavy rain. Simply download our Channel 3000 weather app. It's available for free in your phone's app store. Still ahead at 10, it is a question being asked by both UW doctors and some of their patients. Why won't the state cover weight loss surgery for public employees?
If they want to get the weight up, if they're struggling. And it's not like bariatric surgery is a facelift.
Lori sharing her struggle with trying to get healthy. That's next, only on News 3 at 10.
think it's probably one of those last few areas where it's still socially acceptable to discriminate against.
We probably all know someone who is struggling with their weight. Obesity is common, serious, and costly, something doctors say is often misunderstood. They say obesity needs to be viewed as a disease similar to high blood pressure. Treatment options can vary for those dealing with it. One option more people are considering: bariatric surgery. Doctors say it's now proven to be safe and effective for many who cannot lose weight with simply diet and exercise. But for nearly 250,000 state workers and their dependents, it is not an option. Tonight, only on News 3, the story of one local woman's fight for her health.
Hi, girl.
Stand up.
It's perfect.
This is fine.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Like so many of us, Lori Savani Hammer wants to lose weight.
It's a little squat, just moving together. Perfect. And in, out, and in. Now we'll go back.
She's done plenty of diets, works out 3 times a week.
Rocking it.
With a personal trainer.
Cross nice and high, feeling a good stretch in the side of the torso.
But since the birth of her 3rd child more than 20 years ago,
Atta girl.
It's been a battle.
And you eat because you're depressed. You gain weight because you eat because you're depressed, and you get lack of self-esteem and lack of self-confidence because of your weight, and then it all goes back into this vicious circle.
Now, as she celebrates her 60th birthday,
Come here, Teddy.
the UW employee is left looking for another way.
I'm 252 pounds right now. I'm 5'4". My BMI is 43. That's not healthy.
Heart disease, diabetes, certain cancers even are associated with weight.
Doctors with the UW's surgical weight management team say the last answer for patients like Lori is bariatric surgery, essentially removing a part of the stomach to aid weight loss.
But over the past 20 years, there have been huge advances in the safety of bariatric surgery. We do almost all of our operations through minimally invasive approaches.
With the surgery and the subsequent weight loss, things like Lori's type 2 diabetes and other issues could be a thing of the past.
Most of those conditions will significantly improve with bariatric surgery because as the weight comes off, the medication requirements change significantly, the amount of stress that's put on your body from a physical standpoint changes, which improves pain.
Come on.
Her doctors say she should get it. Lori wants it, but standing in her way is her insurance company. The Group Insurance Board, which determines benefits for state workers, last considered covering bariatric surgery in 2015. In this May 2015 memo obtained by News 3, the board was presented with findings that indicated bariatric surgery, quote, is not a common market benefit, and adding coverage does not seem to align with reducing costs and increasing the focus on wellness. Yet more than 40 states currently cover bariatric surgery for state employees.
People that sit on that board must never have had weight issues, must never have to struggle with your knees or your hips or the self-consciousness that comes with being overweight.
I think everyone is entitled, to fair, and honestly fair and just treatment for their obesity. Currently I don't know that our state employees have that.
Dr. Funk contends no other surgery he performs saves more money in the long run.
Initially, there is some upfront cost, but I hope that we can take the long view on this and that after a few years, it'll start saving the system money.
For now, Lori's options are few. Wait 5 years for Medicare to cover it, go to another country for the procedure, which many people do.
3, 2.
Or simply keep trying her luck.
Nice, Lori.
At the gym.
I'm going to have to get out and try to walk more or try to do what I can, but in the long run, I don't know what'll happen.
Fighting.
Down is 1.
To find her old self again.
Stop counting the pennies and let's look at the big picture. Listen to the medical professionals that are out there giving you the statistics and giving you the demographics. And please don't sit in your circle and say, well, people should exercise more and eat less. It's not that simple.
And it isn't just bariatric surgery that Lori's insurance won't cover. Dr. Funk says the state's insurance also does not cover things like counseling, obesity medication, or visits with a nutritionist for weight loss. We reached out to representatives with the Department of Employee Trust Funds, which oversees the Group Insurance Board, and their spokesman tells us the board cited projected costs as a reason for not covering such procedures, and the board is not considering coverage for 2019. A study from the UW School of Medicine and Public Health says 41% of adults and 15% of children here in Wisconsin are now considered obese. turn now to the big story of the night, the weather. And I have never seen rain quite like this.
No, I agree with you. And I mean, we live in the same general area, and it took me twice as long to get to work. And I had to be really careful driving to make sure that there wasn't areas where I didn't want to drive into. And I think that's the problem. If people are out tonight, they just, if you can stay home, stay home. And if you absolutely must be out on the road and you see a place where water covers the road and you're not sure of its depth, just turn around, because once it takes about between 18 and 24 inches of water to start floating a car, and once you start floating, you're going with wherever the water is taking you. If it's into a river or a creek, that's where you're going. You can spin the car wheel all you want, the steering wheel, but you're going where that water is taking you. Here's the bullseye area very clearly showing up. Flash flood warning in effect until 11:15 for the western portion of Dane County. If the flash flood warning isn't extended, an aerial flood warning will certainly need to be issued, because you can see these are estimated rainfall rates, and some of these may be even higher than what I'm showing here. 9.6 inches just north of Highway 14, between Highway 14 and 12, just to the north and east of Mazomanie. Almost 9 inches in Middleton. 9 inches just to the east of Mount Horeb. Down toward the Verona area, about 5 to 6 inches. 6 inches or more down toward Mount Vernon, and areas down by Perry, Fitchburg, west side of Madison. You're talking about 4 to 6 inches of rain. Then you get to the east side of Madison, the amounts drop off quite a bit, generally in the 1 to 2 inch range. A lot of rain, but not nearly as much as the western part of Dane County. And you can see this is high-resolution Doppler radar. Still heavy rain falling from Middleton, just along and south of Highway 12 up into the Prairie du Sac and Sauk City area. So this is the area that's getting hammered. The areas south of Verona, now at least the rain has diminished to some very light showers or some drizzle, but you can still see as this area of precipitation lifts toward the north, it's going over the same general area. Looks like there's a little blockage here on the radar signal, but you can clearly see there's a band of showers and thunderstorms continuing to lift off toward the north. And as we take a look at future Doppler track over the next 3 hours, hopefully the heaviest rain will shift out of western Dane County, but it'll shift northward into parts of Columbia and Dodge County. So this area may have to be dealing with flash flooding later on tonight. Hopefully not nearly as bad as what's happening right now in the western portion of Dane County. Showers, isolated thunderstorms tonight, some of those having heavy rain, low temperature at 62. Tomorrow, breezy and cooler with a chance of showers, high temperature at 74. The heaviest rain will be over with by late tonight. On future track, notice how the precipitation really starts to wind down by early tomorrow morning, then lifts on out. Still a chance for a shower or an isolated thunderstorm during the day tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, we're back to sunshine. After a cool start to the morning, temperatures will be up into the 70s later on in the day on Wednesday. And as we take a look at the 7 to 10-day forecast, you'll notice that those temperatures are in the 70s through Friday, another chance of showers and thunderstorms. And then, boom, we take a step up. Highs jump into the mid to upper 80s as we head into next week. That could also bring some thunderstorm chances, though, toward the middle of next week. But we need to dry out first, and we've got a long ways to go. All
right, Gary, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We'll be right back with sports.
News.
The Brewers didn't have a very good week last week, and perhaps playing at home this week and perhaps playing against the lowly Cincinnati Reds at Miller Park will help too, although it didn't look like it would for a while. Brewers starter Chase Anderson gives up a lot of homers. In the second inning, he gives up homers to Eugenio Suarez and Phillip Ervin. That's 26 gopher balls on the year for Chase Anderson. Now, the Reds pitcher tonight is named Homer Bailey. Guess what? He gives up 2 homers. One to Christian Yelich. This 2-run shot to Travis Shaw in the 6th. That's Shaw's 25th of the season. It's the final. Brewers 5, Reds 2. Cubs off tonight. They're in Detroit tomorrow. The Packers' next preseason game Friday night in Oakland, the home of Jordy Nelson. The Packers, of course, let Nelson go after 10 seasons with Green Bay, and he signed a free agent contract with the Raiders. He was one of the most popular Packers ever. He's found a new home in Oakland and looks forward to playing against the Packers and for the Raiders this season. But he's still beloved in Green Bay and misses Green Bay, too.
Just the people, not only the ones with the football, with the Packers organization, but our friends that we had made out the field away from football, our neighbors, and all that stuff. So again, I think that's what makes a community, that what makes you enjoy a place that you've been in 10 years with, the people that you surround yourself with. And I mean, we're still in contact with them, we're still great friends, and we'll always be in contact with them. So, but yeah, I mean, you always miss people whenever you leave a place, no matter where you were.
A sports writer in Champaign, Illinois, thinks the Wisconsin Badgers are the best college football team in the country right now, so he voted them first in the Associated Press preseason college football poll. Badgers are actually ranked 4th in the country in that AP poll. Only defending champion Alabama, Clemson, and Georgia are ahead of the Badgers. Also from the Big Ten, Ohio State 5th, Penn State 10th, Michigan State 11th, Michigan 14th, Notre Dame ranked 12th. The Badgers have been practicing for nearly 2 weeks now. Fall camp is notoriously a grind and can be grueling at times as players try to get in shape physically and mentally for games. Wide receiver A.J. Taylor says this is a time where you truly have to ask yourself why. And for him, it's about being on a team.
Truly love football. I don't know, it's not that I don't know anything but football, but I just love the game. I love everything about it. And I mean, shoot, I love representing something bigger than myself.
The Ohio State Board of Trustees will meet Wednesday morning at 9 to decide the fate of head football coach Urban Meyer. He's been on paid leave while the school investigates what he knew about the domestic violence allegations against former assistant coach Zach Smith. The Columbus Dispatch reports it's likely the punishment will be a suspension for Meyer, which could include time served since he's been away from the program for more than 2 weeks. And this Friday's Prep Mania High School Football Game of the Week is a Big 8 Conference showdown. Middleton at Verona. We'll have the game live on TVW and live streamed on our website, channel3000.com, Friday night at 7. And we'll be right back.
Gary's back. Final check.
Yeah, the flash flood warning remains in effect until 11:15 for the western 2/3 of Dane County. But the big problem is just this heavy rain continuing to fall north of Highway 14 and south of Highway 12. That's where the heaviest rain is right now. It is starting to lift a little farther toward the north. So as it does so, it should start to improve situations with any additional rainfall in the areas that have gotten so much. But many locations, we're seeing some estimates, perhaps as much as a foot of rain or more between Cross Plains and, say, Mineral Point Road and the Beltline on the west side of Madison. I mean, that is just an insane amount of water over such a large area, and amounts as much as 9 or 10 inches as far south as Verona and as far southwest as Mount Vernon. So do not drive if you don't have to on the west side of Dane County.
Yeah, and tune into News 3 this morning tomorrow as well for the latest updates on travel conditions. A lot of roads will probably close in the morning as well. Thanks for joining us. Be safe.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.